President-elect Trump just agreed to settle a lawsuit for $25 million. We talked about Trump University a lot during the campaign and how it could be a massive problem for the Trump administration. People who attended the Trump-branded school, you may remember, claimed that they were sold a bill of goods and that they were lied to. The president-elect had filed appeal after appeal, insisting that he did not defraud people who attended Trump U, but now, again just minutes ago, in a press release, the Attorney General announced the President-elect had agreed to $25 million settlement for the more than 6,000 victims. Trump will also pay up to $1 million in penalties to the state of New York for violating state education laws, all this according to the statement. I want to bring in our political panel now to talk President-elect nominations as well as this latest news. Politics writer at The Atlantic, Molly Ball, Republican strategist, CNN political commentator Kevin Madden, and associate editor at The Hill, A.B. Stoddard. Perhaps just with this news, I want to get your reaction to this. Kevin, this was, we thought, quite an issue during the campaign. Of course, he won the election. Would have been trouble to let this drag on. How significant a development do you think the settlement is?
Well, yeah, it removes an incredible distraction. I mean, the last thing you want when you're trying to put together a administration and you're trying to set an agenda, you have a busy 100 days plan, you don't want this type of distraction hanging over you. So removing this distraction, I think, is a good thing for the Trump administration as they go through what will be a very busy time next year.
Now, Molly, there are still other lawsuits out there and questions. You can't settle them all, I imagine, although there might be some effort made. I mean, how much of a cloud is that in the midst of, someone who's trying to be a transformative leader, right?
Right. I mean, I think that's the question, is whether he's going to try to put more of these potential conflicts of interest, these lawsuits, all of the various loose ends that are out there. Is he going to try to bring as much closure as possible to his private dealings before he takes office? You do hear a lot of Republicans saying, and the Wall Street Journal saying today, we need him to be able to devote all of his attention to the presidency. That means getting rid of all these distractions, getting rid of these questions about family entanglements and business entanglements that, even if he thinks they don't affect him, are going to continue to raise questions as long as they're still out there.
Well, and maybe it's not just the lawsuits, right? I mean, you still have multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar businesses. You have these questions of a blind trust. We've talked to ethics lawyers and say giving it to the kids doesn't really give you the separation you need. That's going to be a whole other kettle of fish, right?
Right. That is really the biggest issue that they're ignoring. I mean, we've seen them try to change the narrative this week from, do you only get the job if you're a Trump loyalist, to we're talking to every enemy we've ever made, we're open book here, we're searching for the best talent. But what they're ignoring is this big question about what separation is required. What's the appropriate separation between the businesses? The kids have told us with pride they do vast dealings around the world, including with the Russians, and what their definition of blind trust is not remotely close to what the actual definition is going to have to be. And that's the one thing that's outstanding, that's raising a lot of concern, and it needs to be decided pretty quickly.
Kevin, I have to ask you, of course, Donald Trump has said, he said many times, he never settles. Well, he just settled.
That was another point. That's a very good point. He has indicated previously he doesn't have a proclivity for settling these. Is this a sign of a new Donald Trump? I think there needs to be a lot more evidence before anybody can come to that conclusion.
Donald Trump also has a long career of settling lawsuits, so that was never actually true. That was never actually the case. But, Donald Trump's entire campaign was an exercise in shattering norms, in taking the unwritten rules of politics and defying them. There was no actual law that said you had to release your tax returns, even though a lot of people expected it. He shattered that norm. Now that he's going to be president, does he suddenly decide to abide by those unwritten rules, or does he feel so validated by his success that he says, no, I don't have to do any of those things that you guardians of propriety claim I have